Hey Army! Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to discuss one of the hottest topics currently buzzing in the ARMY community worldwide. You've probably already heard about the possibility of a vocal collaboration between Suga and Jimin in BTS's 2026 comeback album, right? Well, in this video we're going to deep dive and have an extensive conversation about what could actually happen if these two powerhouses really do collaborate vocally. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss the latest updates about BTS. Guys, who here isn't excited about this possibility? Suga, one of the strongest rappers in the K-pop industry, meeting Jimin, a vocalist with extraordinary emotional capabilities. This isn't just any ordinary combination, ARMY. This is a meeting between two different musical worlds that have the potential for explosive chemistry. Just imagine Suga's sharp rap flow that we've known all along, suddenly merging with Jimin's vocal range that can give you goosebumps. Can you even imagine how powerful that would be? Before we dive deeper, let's flash back for a moment. Do you guys still remember the photo that RM posted on November 24th, 2025? Yes, that photo that made Twitter timelines explode. In that photo, we could see Suga with Jimin, Jungkook, and of course RM himself in the practice room. What made it special was that this was a rare appearance from Suga since he completed his military service last June. ARMY trended worldwide because everyone was so happy to finally see Suga again with the other members. And what's even more interesting, their presence in the same practice room sparked various intriguing speculations. Were they just practicing choreography? Or is there something bigger being prepared? Now, let's discuss why this Suga-Jimin vocal collaboration could be a game changer for BTS's 2026 album. First of all, we have to talk about their vastly contrasting vocal characteristics. Suga has a lower, warm, and slightly raspy voice. If you listen to his AgustDNews mixtapes, you definitely know how Suga's voice can give off a raw and authentic vibe. He's not just skilled at rapping, but when he does vocals, there's an intimacy and personal touch that's completely different from other vocalists. His voice is grounded, down to earth, and makes listeners feel connected. Now compare that with Jimin. Guys, we all know Jimin has one of the most distinctive voices in the K-pop industry. His high vocal range with an ethereal, almost angelic quality. He can be extremely soft in one moment, then suddenly powerful in the next. His falsetto technique? Don't even get me started. Every time Jimin sings in falsetto, it feels like being transported to another dimension. And what's most amazing is Jimin has an extraordinary ability to convey emotion through his voice. He can make you cry just from the way he delivers one vocal line. Now, imagine if these two vocal characteristics were combined. Suga's warmth meeting Jimin's brightness. Low register meeting high register. Grounded energy meeting ethereal quality. Guys, this isn't just simple addition. This is a combination that could create depth and dimension in a song that's extremely difficult to achieve with just vocalists of similar characteristics. This contrast is what makes it interesting. Like yin and yang, like two sides of the same coin. They complement each other in a very organic way. And you know what? The personal chemistry between Suga and Jimin is also a super important factor here. They've been working together for over a decade, guys. More than 10 years they've faced ups and downs together, understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, and have incredibly solid trust. Chemistry like this can't be built overnight. And when this chemistry translates into music, the result can be very natural and powerful. Those of you who've been ARMY for a long time definitely know how Suga and Jimin's interactions are always sweet and show deep mutual respect. Now let's talk from the technical music perspective. What are the possibilities for incorporating this vocal collaboration into a song? There are many creative ways this could be done. One of the most interesting options is placing the Suga-Jimin vocal line in the bridge. You know, the bridge is usually the emotional climax of a song before entering the final chorus, right? Well, this part is absolutely crucial because it needs to provide a different lift, something that makes listeners feel something deeper. Just imagine, the instrumental suddenly strips down, then suddenly we hear Suga's soft and intimate voice opening the bridge, followed by Jimin entering with harmonization above it. Layer after layer of their voices build up, creating increasingly rich textures, until finally exploding into the final chorus. Doesn't that give you chills? Or they could also be placed in the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus functions to build tension and anticipation before entering the chorus. Well, the dynamics of two voices with different characteristics could definitely create interesting tension. For example, Suga starts with a more reserved and mysterious tone, then Jimin joins with a brighter and more hopeful layer, creating this push and pull energy that makes the transition to the chorus feel much more impactful. Or they could also be placed in the post-chorus as a response or echo from the main chorus, adding depth and making the whole song feel more complete. In terms of song genre, guys, according to our analysis, a mid-tempo or pop-rock ballad would be the perfect canvas for this collaboration. Why? Because these genres provide space for Suga and Jimin to really showcase their vocal abilities without too much distraction from other musical elements. Imagine a song that starts with simple and melancholic piano or guitar. Suga opens with an intimate vocal line, almost whispered, making listeners lean in to listen more closely. Then Jimin enters with haunting harmonization, his voice rising to the falsetto range, creating this otherworldly atmosphere. And when they harmonize together in the chorus, with minimal instrumentation, pure vocals taking center stage, it feels like time stops for a moment. What makes this possibility even more real is the solo experience both of them have gained. Guys, don't forget Suga has already released several solo albums under the name AgustD. And if you listen carefully, he doesn't just rap there. There are several tracks where Suga explores vocals, and the result? Surprisingly amazing. He's proven that he's very capable of delivering emotion through vocals, not just through rap. Tracks like The Last, So Far Away, even the more recent Hybe, all showcase Suga's often underestimated vocal range and depth. On the other hand, Jimin with his solo albums Face and Muse has already showcased his absolutely insane vocal versatility. From the powerful and aggressive Set Me Free PT2 to the dreamy and ethereal like Crazy, then the catchy and dynamic Who. Jimin has already proven that he can handle various genres and styles with ease. He's not stuck in one comfort zone. And this is really important because when artists have explored their own musical identity through solo works, they bring that maturity and confidence back to the group. They know exactly who they are as artists, and that makes collaboration in a group context far more rich and meaningful. Guys, we also have to talk about current music industry trends. In recent years, the boundaries between rappers and vocalists have become increasingly blurred. Many rappers are starting to sing, and many singers are incorporating rap into their music. Look at Drake, Post Malone, or even in K-pop itself there's GD, Mino, and other rappers who often do vocals in their tracks. This shows that modern listeners crave versatility. They don't want artists stuck in just one category. They appreciate artists who can do it all, who aren't afraid to experiment and push their own boundaries. If Suga and Jimin really collaborate in a vocal line in BTS's 2026 title track, this would be a powerful statement about BTS's evolution as a group. It shows that they're not afraid to break conventions, to try something new, to surprise their audience. And knowing BTS, they always stay ahead of the curve. They're always pioneers, not followers. So a move like this totally makes sense for a group that's always pushing creative boundaries. Now, let's discuss from the storytelling angle in a song. Guys, this is what makes it so exciting. Imagine a song whose story is about duality or two different perspectives on one situation. For example, about complicated love, where one side is more realistic and guarded, while the other side is more idealistic and emotional. Suga could represent the more grounded perspective with his warm and realistic voice, talking about fears, doubts, and realities of love. While Jimin represents the more hopeful perspective with his ethereal voice, talking about dreams, possibilities, and the beauty of taking chances. The dialogue between these two voices could create tension and resolution that makes the song feel like a complete story, not just a collection of nice melodies. Or it could also be about internal struggle, where Suga represents the logical mind, the voice of reason, while Jimin represents the emotional heart, the voice of feelings. They're arguing, questioning, supporting each other in lyrics and melody. And at the end of the song, when they finally harmonize together in perfect unity, it symbolizes integration, finding balance between mind and heart, between logic and emotion. Guys, storytelling like this can elevate a song from just good music to art that truly resonates with listeners on a deeper level. The impact on ARMY would also be massive. You all know how detail-oriented ARMY is, right? Every single artistic choice that BTS makes is definitely analyzed, discussed, and appreciated very deeply. If this Suga-Jimin vocal collaboration really happens, this will be an absolutely explosive talking point in the community. Twitter will explode. YouTube will be full of reaction videos and vocal analysis. TikTok will be filled with clips from their parts. And all of this is organic buzz that's very valuable in this digital era. More than that, guys, this will give ARMY something new to love and celebrate. After years of supporting BTS, having this fresh moment, this new dynamic, this unexpected collaboration, it's like getting a precious gift. This will be a new memory that will last long in our fandom culture. This will be a moment that we screenshot, we record, we share over and over again. And years from now, we'll look back and say, remember when Suga and Jimin did that incredible vocal collaboration? That was legendary. In terms of live performance too, guys, imagine the potential. If they perform this song at a concert, with Suga and Jimin standing side by side, maybe holding hands or putting arms around each other while singing their parts, with raw and real emotion on their faces, with ARMY singing along with every single word, with lights waving in the ocean of purple, with that overwhelming feeling of unity and love that we can only experience at BTS concerts. Guys, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. That's the kind of moment that makes concerts unforgettable, that makes us cry tears of joy, that makes us grateful to be part of this beautiful journey. And you know what's most important about all of this? A collaboration like this shows growth. It shows that Suga and Jimin, after all these years, after their solo journeys, after the hiatus, after military service, they come back not just as members of BTS, but as evolved artists who are more mature, more confident, and more willing to take risks. They're not playing it safe. They're not stuck in a formula that's already proven successful. Instead, they're choosing to explore, to experiment, to create something new and unexpected. This is a powerful message not just for ARMY, but for the music industry as a whole. It shows that true artistry is about constant evolution, about never settling, about always seeking to create something meaningful and authentic. And guys, if there's a group that can pull this off with grace and excellence, it's BTS. They've proven time and time again that they're not just idols or entertainers. They're artists in the truest sense of the word. Of course, guys, we have to be realistic too. Until now, this is still speculation. We haven't gotten official confirmation from Big Hit or from the members themselves about the specific details of the 2026 comeback album. But based on all the hints, the photos, the updates from members, and knowing BTS's tendency to always surprise us in the best way possible, the possibility for something special like this Suga-Jimin vocal collaboration is definitely on the table. What's certain is that whatever BTS decides to do with their comeback album, we as ARMY will support with full hearts. But there's nothing wrong with being excited about the possibilities, right? There's nothing wrong with imagining, with hoping, with anticipating something that could be one of the most memorable moments in BTS's discography. And who knows, maybe months from now, we'll revisit this video and say, they actually did it. The Suga-Jimin vocal collaboration is real, and it's even more amazing than we imagined. So guys, that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts about the possibility of a vocal collaboration between Suga and Jimin? Are you excited? What are your expectations about how it might sound? And if you could choose, in what part of a song would you want them to harmonize together? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We really want to hear from all of you. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with fellow ARMY so we can discuss this together. See you in the next video, ARMY. Borahi.